Hello, Anne. How are you doing today?
I'm doing okay, thank you.
Awesome. Can I get you any water or anything?
No, I'm fine for now. If you anything, I can ask you.
All right, no problem. I just want to confirm some things really quickly with you. Can you give me your full name, age, and gender and pronouns?
Yes, my name is Anna Smith. I'm 34 years old, and I'm pronounced her. She's here. It's fine.
Awesome. And before we continue, I'm just going to tell you some confidentiality. That pretty much means that anything we say here will be between us and maybe some of your care providers. But if you do say something where I think you'll be a harm to yourself or somebody else, we would have to tell some other people and I'll keep you updated. Is that okay?
Yes, it's okay.
All right. Well, with those things out of the way, let's just break the ice a little bit. So, how about you tell me a little bit about yourself? What do you like to do for fun?
So I love to spend time with my family. They are my life. If
Mhm.
there happens, I'm swell. We used to go to restaurants, Sundays, and go to the park as well.
Those are great things to do. Definitely get some outside time, spend some time with the family. Fantastic. Definitely keep that up. Um, I do just want to say quickly, thank you for coming here, taking time out of your day. It can be a little daunting for some people to come to therapy, so it really does take a lot of strength.
Yes.
And then just a little bit about what you can expect with therapy. Pretty much, we're just going to be talking, exchanging some questions. We might do some role plays. You might have a little bit of homework or fill out some questionnaires, but I'll keep you updated on that process. Is that
Oh,
okay?
yes, it sounds good.
All right. And looking through your file, it says you were referred here by Dr. Pete. Is that right?
Yes, it's right.
Okay. And are you happy to be here, or do you feel like you're pressured to be here?
I'm fine. I can stay because I want to overcome my fears, my neighbors, feeling weak or tired. I having problems to go to sleep as well, and I really need help.
Yeah, definitely. Being aware of those things and taking the initiative like you have done is really good. Um, was that for your annual physical, or did you have other issues such as like heart palpitations, sickness, lack of energy, anything like that?
Yes, I'm exhausted, and weak most of the times. When anything goes wrong for me, I don't know how to deal with it. And I feel a lot of heart palpitations, and I cannot even breathe. It's a very weird symptoms.
They can be really off-putting when you experience those things if you haven't in the past. So thank you so much for telling the doctor and keeping me updated as well. In relation to those symptoms, so the excess worry and the palpitations, have those been present for as long as you can remember?
Um, Actually, it's started after I got married, 7 years ago.
About 7 years? Okay. Can you remember a time that you didn't have any of those symptoms?
Yes, when I was a child, I never experienced any of those symptoms. I can say it started when I graduated from high school, and it aggravated when I got married.
Yeah, and those are really big life-changing decisions there. So it makes sense how that might be an inciting incident. Let me list just a couple more symptoms for you. I'm going to list them three at a time. And if you want to go into some detail, you can. Is that okay?
Yes,
Okay. So the first three symptoms, do you have fatigue, blackouts, or obsessive and compulsive thoughts and behaviors?
there is no blackout at all, and no septic compositors either. Fasted, I can say just sometimes that is in a moments that I don't want to do anything, and I feel so bad for my kids.
Well, we all have those moments here and there, but it is really good to keep track of those things. Do you have any excessive worry, skin picking, or your mind just going blank?
No, my gum, my mind is okay.
Mhm.
It's skin pickings. I can remember that I had a Psalms. About obsessive worry. Just most of the times I worry with my childrens in the school, and I don't know if it's somebody can harm themselves or attack the school. I'm sometimes thinking about this when I'm sending them. I'm sometimes think about sending them to school Actually last week I didn't send them, and the school called my husband, and he's got mad with me because I didn't send this kid to the school.
I'm sorry to hear that, but we can definitely work on some strategies here, and we'll explore kind of your family dynamics a little bit later on, if that's okay. All right. And the last little bit, do you have difficulty with concentration, muscle tension, seeing, hearing, and believing things that other people say did not happen?
No muscles tension at all. Difficult to concentrate it just sometimes when I'm cooking and my keys come to my mind. I forgot that I put the chickens in the oven and it
Mhm.
got burned last times. I don't hear any voices at all. So
Okay. And yeah, we all have those intrusive thoughts, but if you do feel like it is being an issue here, like where you forgot the chicken, it is something worthwhile to explore a little bit. And the very last one, do you have any random panic attacks where the world just randomly feels like it's falling around you, or you just have trouble breathing, and you just can't control it?
actually, I don't want to watch the news
Mhm.
because I feel very anxious and nervous. So I don't like to see anything that happened with kids because somebody shouldn't the school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I prefer not to see any news at all.
Okay. So, with all those symptoms in your mind, so the excessive worrying, maybe a little bit of a panic attack, fatigue, all of those things, how often do you have those symptoms? So, would it be more on a daily basis, a weekly basis, monthly? You might say, for example, I have those symptoms every day or 4 to 5 days a week.
I can say daily, like Monday through Friday.
Mhm.
Is my kids are into school and I'm very worried and scared. Sometimes I feel my family is not safe when they are not around to me. The school doesn't call me if my kids are sick or they need something from my kids that I didn't send them. So they prefer to call my husband due to last time they call. I start to cry and ask them if my kid was alive, if somebody were to shoot the school, and I didn't allow them to talk.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing that with me and keeping track of that. In relation to an episode, so if you're having these fits of like fatigue or excess worry, things like that, and you're worrying, would you say that they last about 4 to 5 hours a day, all day, an hour? How long do you think they would last?
So my kids go to school 8 a.m. to 2:20 p.m. So at this time I feel very worried and heart palpitation starts.
All right, so the going to school kind of is an inciting factor. Um, have these symptoms impacted your daily living, recreational activities, relationships, and occupation in any way?
Actually, how I say I cannot concentrate very well when my kids
Mhm.
in the school. Actually, I got fired from my job because I didn't complete my task on time, and my boss got mad with me and say that he doesn't need my service anymore.
All right, and there's always going to be somewhere where we can kind of explore and look at some strengths and stuff. So we might look at that a little bit later as well. What have you done currently or in the past to help with this excess worry, fatigue, etc.?
I'm trying to read the Bible,
Mhm.
and I call my mom to pray for me sometimes. I'm tired of the back thoughts and worries.
I'm glad that you have your outlet and your mom to help you through this. You think she's a very good support for you?
Yes, it's work a lot.
Awesome, fantastic. Are you open to trying new things out, or do you kind of like what you're currently doing?
I would like to keep the what I'm doing right now, but if you anything come interesting to me, maybe
Mhm.
I can do it.
Definitely. I'll let you know if I find anything, okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Now that I know why you're here and kind of what you're experiencing more, I want to know, what do you want to get out of therapy? Are there any extra goals that you want to achieve?
Yes, I want to help how to cope my anxiety
Mhm.
and better controls my worries.
Those are great goals to have. We can definitely work on that here. So I want to know very quickly, and please be honest with me. Have you considered suicide or harming yourself or others in any way?
No, never. Like my kids need me, so I need to be alive for them.
Yeah, definitely. Your kids need you. You obviously they mean the world to you, of course. So that is very good to have your children and you have your mom and your faith as well. So those are very good.
Yes.
Have you been to any kind of psychiatric treatment in the past?
No, I don't.
Okay. And are you currently taking any medications?
No, I don't.
Okay, so you weren't taking any medications. Have you been using any substances?
No, never.
Okay. And do you have any past medical conditions or issues?
No, I don't.
No? All right. And if something comes to mind, don't hesitate to let me know.
Okay, I
Um,
will.
awesome. Is there a history of any kind of head injury?
No.
Okay. So we're just gonna kind of go into the social history aspect just a little bit. So if you don't mind, take some time to think if you need. Will you tell me a little bit about your family?
I can say like my family is from Dominican Republic,
Mhm,
and when I was at 17, we moved to the United States to live with my father, who previously received here. I lived with my moms and my two other brothers. My father absence caused a lot of sadness, I can
mhm,
say, but we recognize that he was making sacrifice to give us a better education and better life as well. And I got married when I was age 23, and
mhm.
I have three beautiful kids who are the life of my life.
Fantastic. One big strength I want to point out from that definitely is even at a young age, you want to spend time with your father, but you know that he's working really hard for you. So that is a really good strength. Even as a child, it seems you were very understanding.
Yes.
Let's see. And can you give me a little bit of info about any kind of like family history of a disorder? So, does a family member have any kind of anxiety, trauma, behavioral issues, medical issues, anything like that?
I can say my mom, she's sometimes depressed, but she know how to cope actually. So she's doing very well, and
Awesome.
she's not going for therapy.
Okay.
My father, I can say he likes to drink a lot
Mhm.
and smoke as well, but like cigarette, no, nothing like a substances. And yeah, so everything is fine, like about health and anything. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that with me. And if you ever want to add anything, definitely let me know.
Okay.
All right. So, with all of that information, I don't want to give a set diagnosis right now. Give me a little bit of time to research. But I would like to make a provisional or temporary diagnosis of separation anxiety disorder.
Okay.
So, yeah, based on everything that you've said, you've mentioned, maybe some nightmares, fear of being separated from them, fear they will be harmed specifically at the school location. You have been impacted with things like your daily living, so like your job, and you don't want to leave the house with your children too often, those palpitations, things like that. Those are the things that are all kind of common with separation anxiety. In terms of a time frame, for children, it's about a month, but for adults, it is about 6 months. And you said this has been happening since you were married, and then it kind of escalated when your children were born. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
All right. So, yeah, I would like to give the provisional diagnosis of separation anxiety. Do you have any questions about that diagnosis?
Can you explain a little more about what is a separation anxiety? Like, I understand there is a generalizes
Mhm.
anxiety, but I have never heard about the separation anxiety.
Yeah, definitely. I have a pamphlet here for you that you can read on your own time, as well as my personal card. So if you ever feel like, oh, I didn't ask that question, definitely reach out to me, look through that pamphlet. But about separation anxiety, like I said, it is pretty common with children. It's just a different subsect of anxiety. So, like that generalized anxiety that you did say.
Okay.
Um, so there's other things like trichotillomania. There's um, let's see, there's social anxiety, which I don't believe that you have, but we can always explore a little bit more, just different subsects of the anxiety. The separation anxiety specifically is when you're separated from a loved one. And it
Oh,
does seem like, based on what you've said, it really flares up when you're separated from your children. Is that right?
yeah, I might agree with you at all because that is actually happened to me. Like if my kids stay not around to me, I'm gonna start with anxiety.
Mhm.
So if they just stay like by my side, I'm okay.
Yeah, if they're by your side, you're all right. But yeah, you get a little bit nervous about going out into the public with them, that fear of harm, in society. There's a lot of strangers around, things like that. So that is a common fear of people that have separation anxiety. That pamphlet will also provide you with a little bit more information. Are there any other questions you have about the diagnosis right now?
No, I don't. Thank you so much for the clarified to me what is the separation anxiety. It's made a lot of sense.
Yeah, no problem. And like I said, we'll be exploring everything a little bit more as we go along. It is comorbid sometimes, so it might happen or it might be diagnosed alongside other things like depression and things like that. But we have different questionnaires and stuff to use to explore those further, which we might be doing in the next session.
Okay.
Um, in terms of a general overview, we're going to be looking at kind of a cognitive behavioral therapy. So just kind of looking at maladaptive thoughts, thoughts that kind of pop into your head. You might be doing some journal entries and monitoring symptoms. For right now, before our next session, if you just want to concentrate on breathing techniques actually help with the parasympathetic nervous system, which is kind of where all those anxiety symptoms come up. So in the next week, if you feel like you're getting anxious, just take a deep breath and see if that helps you a little bit. Is that okay?
Yes, this makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much for the recommendation.
Yeah, no problem. And is it all right that I share this information with your doctor?
Yes, please.
All right. And just quickly ending on a positive note, how about you just tell me a little bit about some of your strengths?
Actually, my family is my everything. What I say, like if they are around to me, I feel very well,
Mhm.
and I like also let me see, I know how to manage my time as well, and I have a good relationship with my parents and with my husband. Actually, if I need some help, I ask for help as well. And yeah, that's some of my strengths.
Fantastic. And those can definitely be used throughout the therapy process and in your daily living. So those are fantastic. If you have no other questions at this time, I'll just give you those pamphlets in my card and I'll see you on the 13th at 9 a.m.
Okay, that's work. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. Have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.